Hello and welcome to another episode of the Star Heroes, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast. My name is Adam and I am the Dungeon Master, and the stubborn heroes we have today are David, who plays Bonnie. Hello. Parker, who plays Tyrannus.
Hello.
Billy, who plays Benjamin Grimshaw.
That's right.
Michael, who plays Thanthui.
Wait, who's Thanthui?
And and Cody, who plays Belgarath. That's his name. I forgot your name, just like how you forgot we were playing today.
That was David.
It was me that forgot we were playing today, actually.
Yeah.
I was like the third one in.
Cody was good this time.
Yeah, he was actually...
This time, fuck you.
Cody, you were actually the first one I clicked accept on today. So I'm proud of you. You made some progress. Yeah.
To be fair, like I said, I didn't know what month it was until yesterday.
It's true. It's true. To be honest, we haven't played this home game. We've been doing
It's only the 7th.
Origins and stuff, but we haven't continued this since, when was it? November. So it's been a while because December and January is very busy for our line of work. So we were just so busy. So now I'm glad that we're here.
We're still busy.
We are also joined by two other people who are quiet right now. And they are with us. And that is Jeremiah and Shauna. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey there.
We made this episode a live episode, open for any patrons who wanted to join. We have a few who might pop in later. You two decided to join. Are you excited?
Absolutely.
Yep.
But Jeremiah is not caught up.
Ooh. I'm just one episode behind.
Everybody knows Jeremiah is a rules lawyer, so it's going to be very difficult for him to bite his tongue, I'm sure, and to keep himself muted and not be screaming loudly.
It'll actually just be easier just to keep myself muted.
Yeah, you'll just be shouting to the other room, I can't believe he's not using his turret!
Can we get like a mute button IRL?
Oh.
I see.
My wife, everybody.
Yeah, I see how it works in that household. So yeah, we're going to begin. Everybody in roll 20, right? There you all are. So this is where we last left off. Just a small little refresher, just for you guys and your memories, not because we do the last time anymore on the show, but you had just entered the Hearthglen Sanctum, and right before, Thanthui used an ability to speak with the dead, the husk of a Hearthglen hill giant coming back to life and informing you of the vampires inside and how many there are. You got a lot of useful information. Thanthui also was clutch because he has this book where he was able to tell you how to properly kill a vampire in a stealthy way, and you successfully did so. You killed 2 vampires while they were sleeping in their caskets, and then you proceeded, but unfortunately with a poor stealth roll, Rasuan did end up on the radar of one of the vampires, giving away your position. You ended up in a big battle against a hill giant vampire and 2 other vampires, and once you were able to dispatch them all, then Bonnie used her ring. What's the ring called again?
I was able to animate the dead.
Yeah, that's what it was. You're able to bring the corpse of the dead vampire.
It's Ring of the Life Giver.
Yes, and you were able to give life back to this corpse of this vampire you had just
killed.
Decapitated. You put his head back on, and now he is a zombie, right? The stats of a zombie there with you. So that's where we left off, and I'm going to say in that moment, Rasuan, as you can tell, Ray is not here with us. Ray might not be here for a few episodes. He's extremely busy and needs to take a small little hiatus, which is perfectly fine. So he's chosen one of you to play as him during combat. Is that correct? Who did he pick?
Yes, that's correct.
You're not going to do the voice. We're not doing that. We're not going down that path.
Sorry.
We're not going to do it. We're just not going to do it.
I apologize in advance before there's any criticism. I'm sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
But you would see Rasuan walk across the room because he was actually disarmed by the vampire, the one that you just animated, and his sword went flying across the room, and you just see his hand almost tremble as he's going to pick up his sword, as if he feels like he has been dishonored in some way, and he's just going to be quiet there in the corner as you have just brought this zombie back to life. This green energy just arcs out of the ring and just starts zapping almost like green lightning all around the body of this dead vampire until it's finally now they're right next to Bonnie.
Tyrannus is gonna walk up behind Bonnie and just like put a hand on her shoulder and say, Bonnie, what are you doing?
He's gonna be our friend.
Are you
And
sure this is a
he'll
good
die.
idea, Bonnie?
Why not have somebody else to help us attack?
In that moment, right behind you, Therese, you would see Elatrice, and she just is taken aback by this. You see her looking at Bonnie in a completely different way now, as if she's just almost like a little bit of fear and disgust. And she just mutters under her breath something about how this goes against nature. This goes against the balance. And then, yep.
I'll kind of walk over to her and kind of put my hand on her shoulder. Just, I know it's weird and messed up, but you kind of get used to it after a while.
She looks over at you and goes, I guess I'll need to get used to a lot of new things hanging out with all of you. And in that moment, Bonnie, suddenly you just feel yourself almost keel over in crippling pain on your hand where the ring is. And you would see bright green lines almost crack on your skin around where the ring is. It starts moving up your arm. And then suddenly you start to feel this intense pain, and then you fall out of your form into your true form. You're forced into your true form.
No.
What the fuck?
You are forced into your true form. So what do the guys see while this is happening? What are you doing?
All right, so you see like a much taller woman, and she's got like tentacles coming out of her stomach, like four or five tentacles coming out of her stomach. She looks very like dark and gloomy, but swamp-like.
Swamp monster.
Tyrannus takes his hand off her shoulder and steps back.
You no longer see this this young girl anymore. What are you saying, Bonnie? Are you trying to say something? You realize that you're being reverted into your true form, so...
She's like, no, this can't be true.
And you suddenly see it just like her body just sort of keel over. You see Bonnie grow in size into this almost banshee-like being with shadowy darkness, but these tentacles. You would hear whispering sounds just take up around in her aura, and her eyes, and all of her form is completely almost misty and black. And then is that one of the whispers, David? Is that what that was?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then her eyes just like burn a purple energy with
Is this
razor
possession?
sharp teeth.
Are we fighting again?
Yeah, are we gonna roll initiative, guys?
Elgrath, I would step back.
Bonnie's gonna try and go back to her form, can she?
You attempt to, yes, but you find that you're able to go back into the form of Bonnie, but from now on, 5 years of your life has been taken off, and you will no longer be able to become 9 3/4. You will now be 14 3/4 years old.
But really, she's like in her 40s now.
So you attempt to, Bonnie, but the form you take on is now that of a young teenager.
Whoa.
That's not fun. I like to be a 9 and 3/4-year-old girl.
I mean, I didn't make you use this ring, and I made the ring a long time ago. I didn't know who was going to get it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But
Well-
you are unable to get yourself that young again. So you make yourself into a form of Bonnie, but as young as you can, and you can't go and make yourself look any younger.
Well, time to redo the artwork.
So remember when I said I was a changeling?
Yes, I can't forget such a thing.
That's what I really look like.
You'd recognize this, Thanthui.
What? Thanthui remembers this.
Anyways, Bonnie's now reverted out of that form. It was only for a few moments you saw this wraith-like form, and now she's back to this age again.
Well, older, right? So her appearance is older?
Yes. She's the appearance of like almost a 15-year-old girl.
Thanthui's gonna be like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
But Thanthui, we're like best friends.
No, you're not the same.
Bonnie, you're saying that's what your true form is?
Yeah, that's my changeling form.
So that's how you were born.
Yes.
You looked like that.
Yes, I was born this way.
I'm gonna stab you. And that's it.
Initiative?
Oh, he said it! Parker, you always said if he ever said it, you'd quit.
You're dead. Done.
He's on the right track, baby.
Oh boy.
I was guiding him to it.
Yeah.
What did your
So what do you
parents
guys
look
do?
like, Bonnie?
They look like me. We all look the same, but then we had to. My mommy always told me that we had to change into the Bonnie form, so that way people weren't jealous of our true beauty.
Beauty, yes.
So you all look
Right.
the same? The Bonnie form?
We all look very similar, but obviously different genetic parts.
And why are you're not your young self anymore? What's going on?
I'm not sure. It seems like the ring did something to me, I think.
What do you call yourself? Like, I'm a turtle. Are you like what?
I'm a changeling.
But isn't there like?
Don't you have in your book a C in there? Oh, you don't have C.
No, I don't have C. That's where I'm getting at. Is just in case there's a different name for your creature.
Thanthui, you go through your
Right.
You go through the monster manual, Deckard's monster manual, and just quickly skimming through the pages, you see nothing that looks like that in the book that you have.
So Thanthui's going to actually he's gonna open up that book, and he's gonna quickly like draw what he saw, and then at the top right, changeling.
Isn't that
So
a
then
book?
now-
Isn't that a book that magically adds more pages when you find them, or is that just the one book?
I wish.
It's just a regular
Just
book.
a book.
Because I was gonna say you add more to it, and where you drew, just
Well,
a
that's-
page appears, and now your drawing is on top of that.
Like, my plan was to catalog things that I see along too, so I'm
Books
going
are
to
magical enough, okay? The power of reading.
Yep.
Now you know.
Yeah, and you would all know that Elatrice has left the building. Well, she's left the room that you're in anyway. She seems to have left when she saw Bonnie's form, and none of you noticed.
Something's missing.
Wasn't there a woman right beside me a minute ago?
No, we can't let her tell Deckard.
Why?
No, she's right. Elatrice, wait. And Tyrannus is gonna run after her.
You see, she is just walking forward at a brisk pace, looking around to make sure there's no other vampires, but she's making a beeline straight for the exit. No, Tyrannus, no.
Elatrice, wait, we can
Turns
explain.
around. I don't know what kind of fucked up shit you and your party are into, but that is no little girl. That is a creature of darkness. I heard whispers.
Listen, we can explain. Bonnie isn't just a little girl. She's what you would call a changeling. But she does not mean ill will toward you or any of us. She's a friend. She is a compatriot of ours. She fights for good, not for evil. Trust me, Elatrice. It took me a while to learn this. It took me a while to come to terms with who and what Bonnie is. But she does not mean evil.
Okay, roll a persuasion. I see Ben sort of run up. Ben, did you walk up to sort of spy on what's going on?
I was going to come up and help, but he did a good job.
Yeah. Roll persuasion. You know what? You did such a good roll.
Please,
play.
I need another person.
Roll it with advantage.
Okay.
You rolled a 6,
Thank
I
you.
know, but that was
Thank
some
you.
pretty good role play. So
11.
she just looks, and she just sort of shakes her head. She's just like, I will stay here, and I will help you finish what we promised those giants we would do. But when this is over, I will be telling Deckard.
Bonnie's coming up.
Bonnie or like...
It's 14-year-old Bonnie apparently.
Yeah, she looks at you, and her eyes are sort of boggling as she's just like, Bonnie.
Please don't tell Deckard.
How
been
have you aged?
I honestly, I'm not sure. It's something to do with the ring. I don't know what happened. Deckard has been trying for years to see my true form. He always wondered why I never aged. He would they used to call me the ageless child. But I could never show anybody because my mother always told me to hide it because people would want to take me. He will try and take me, and he'll try and do things to me. Please don't tell him.
What do you think Deckard would try to do?
He enslaves people who look different. And I am one of those, I think. Like, you don't see many changelings around.
Roll a persuasion check.
My persuasion sucks, though.
I mean, sorry?
Oh, okay. So it's not putting through, but it literally popped up persuasion natural 20 plus 1. But for some reason, it's not connecting.
Maybe it's lagging or something.
Okay. Natural 20. Elatrice looks around,
Nice.
and she looks at Tyrannus, and then she looks at you, Bonnie. She puts a hand on your shoulder. I know how Deckard can be. I've been trying to get away from the festival for some time myself. I just needed the coin to do so. He does offer a place for those who are different, though. Sometimes I can understand why. Oh, and by this time your zombie has crept around the corner because it follows you.
Thank goodness.
Sorry. And she goes, but I can understand how you feel. As long as you promise you are fighting on the side of life and not death, then I will trust you, Bonnie.
I have no interest in hurting any of my friends, just the enemies that try and hurt us.
Well, I'm not sure if we've dispatched all the vampires now, but things are...
we get to go kill them now. I'm sorry.
So it's okay. Maybe we should see where the rest of these vampires are. We could maybe find them. And then from up the hallway, because you've all sort of moved towards the exit here, but Rasuan comes around the corner and then taps Thanthui on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And he says, "Come, I have found something."
What did
And
you find?
He immediately turns around and walks back into the chamber where you fought against the vampires before.
Real. Thanthui follows.
What are you all doing?
Belgrath notices, like, Thanthui and Rosserwan going that way and heard what Rosserwan said. And
Oh yeah, he said it
follows.
loud enough. You're all
Yeah.
right there. You all heard him say, "I found something. Come."
Okay,
If
yeah.
I remember right, my turret took damage in the last episode, so I'm just gonna mend it up and make sure it's all repaired and good to go for any future combat.
Yeah, so you're just there in the middle of the of this place, just like repairing your turret. Is that what you're doing? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be like kind of on guard, kind of tinkering and
Yeah.
mending it up.
Let's. If you're gonna be on guard, let's put you over here, so you're protecting that room. Okay. Bonnie, you coming in too?
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to figure out this thing.
You'd see you're all now back inside of this chamber. Now you get a sort of better look at the surroundings. You would see several dead hill giants on the floor. There's obviously the large dead vampire hill giant. But the room itself seems to be some sort of place of worship, maybe before the vampires came. Although the walls and the floor is now covered in the blood of the dead, you would see Rasuan take out a torch, and he walks up a few small steps towards the wall on this side where I put those markers, where you would see two large murals, and they seem to be frescoes painted on there, and they're ancient paintings painted on the metal walls of the chamber. So this is what you see.
Whoa.
So, yeah. So this is what you see on the right side is, and I guess I should describe it. It seems to be a painting of an eclipse in the sky, and then below it seems to be depictions of ancient people standing around a temple that looks similar to the temple that you're in, with a figure standing on top, pulling a dagger out of a box. So that's what you see on the right side. And then on the left side, you see this. On the left side, you see some other strange depictions. So I'm going to let you guys tell me what you want to look closer at, and then I will let you roll a history check, and we'll see how much information you can get. You do see that there is some writing on them. So what would you all like to do?
This is some like Indiana Jones shit I'm feeling.
Balgrath would like to look closer at the ones with the depictions of like the dragon and the wolf looking creatures and like the writing on it.
Okay, Belgarath. First of all, do you speak giant?
Goblin and orc, but I think it's written the same.
As long as are they written the same?
I
Is
I think orc and goblin are written as giant or dwarven, like something like that.
Okay, that's very important to find out. So find that
Okay,
out.
I will.
Okay, find that out.
I am interested in the comet. It looks like a comet on the right side in the top mural there.
Yep. So you're going to look closer at it, and you would see, Tyrannus, that it seems to be some sort of ancient runic language written in the circle that surrounds the comet. I'll let you roll an Arcana check. It seems to be a magical language.
Shit. I have shitty rolls.
As he's
as
he's
an
rolling
8.
that, giant, orc, and goblin are all written in dwarvish. So
Okay, so this is all written in Dwarvish then.
so you can just continue with Parker first, and then come back to me.
I wonder if any of you even know Dwarvish. No, as long as you know any of those languages, I guess you'd understand the writing, is what you're saying. Okay.
I'm guessing.
So, Parker, so on the left side of this initial mural, you would see a full moon, and it's red, blood red. And then on the right side, you would see what looks like a comet falling from the sky with some sort of runic things around it. These are magical runes. You notice that they are some sort of magical language, but you don't know what it says, Tyrannus. I'm sorry.
I'm still I'm looking at the ones with all like the creatures on it. Like
Okay. Yeah. Just generally the whole thing. Roll a history check, Belgrath.
Let's see how this goes. Didn't go that well.
That makes
Ow.
sense.
Makes sense. You believe this depicts that anybody who enters this place will be eaten and killed.
Well, we're all gonna die.
What do you mean?
From what I can make out, anyone that enters this temple will be eaten alive.
What? No. And Bonnie will go over and read it.
You read giant. Okay, good. I need you to roll a history check if you want to look into this.
That one worked.
It went through, actually.
Yes.
Okay, so it's working.
Okay. So the second one, ignore it, because that would have been, so it would have been 7,
Okay.
apparently.
It's a 7?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, you can read it, but I'm not going to let you interpret anything from the history check. So,
Honored are those who give their souls freely to the Mother of Monsters. May their sacrifice bring renewal and rebirth.
What does that mean?
I think that just means if you die in here, then you go to the Monster Mother? I don't know. Doesn't mean we're going to die.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over since I know Giant as well, and I'm gonna try and read between the lines, I guess.
okay.
That's also history, yeah.
Yep, history
After,
check.
tinkering with my bot, I'm gonna walk over and see if I can like make heads or tails or just take a look at it.
That's a
Yeah.
19.
Yeah, you can roll a history check too, Benjamin.
9.
So
Killing it.
we'll start with Tyrannus. You'd read the same words that Bonnie saw, but you'd notice there's more to uncover here, hidden in the pictures, and you would see these words as well.
Behold the great cycle of the Mother of Monsters. As her face turns red with a thirst for blood, the cycle begins anew.
And there's something hard to read, but the painting seems to be tarnished, and it makes it extremely difficult to read right here. Do you see my ping? On the bottom right of that same painting that you're looking at, there's something that's very hard to read, but unfortunately you didn't roll high enough. So you can't make it out.
Is this is the painting has been like smudged
yes,
or something?
It's been smudged.
Okay.
Like blood has been washed over it, and it's hard to read, and you can't really read it. So Benjamin, with that roll, the only thing you'd notice is you would recognize a certain figure that's depicted here in the bottom left.
Had a feeling. I'm not gonna relay that, but I'll just kind of be like, all right.
But you'd notice he is seen right next to this other creature as well, as if they are equals. Tyran is also looking at this because this is all on the same wall. You'd notice the picture of the wolf with the yellow eyes and a serpent with wings. And the wolf would say chaos, and the serpent would say order.
You guys remember that story how I got my scars? Ben will just walk up and put his hand on the painting of it. It was this son bitch that did it. And he'll point to Kasef.
So when we get out of here, that's the one we have to kill?
What is it?
The mural says that that creature is associated with chaos, and the flying serpent represents order. Perhaps they're gods of some kind.
So you're saying that he got his scars from a god?
Kasef's the god of wolves. In my encounter with him, I can assure you, he is powerful. I was lucky to survive.
Can Thanthui go through his book and try to identify either of the two?
You wouldn't find anything in the book that you have.
Okay.
But you could draw them.
Yeah. And add more sketches. Yes.
Yep.
So just to go back to the smudged part, is it something that could be washed off, or is it like destroyed?
You're welcome to attempt to. How would you like to wash it off, though, or try to get it off? That's the question.
So if I think I have two things.
This is a delicate painting. This looks like a very delicate painting. It's smeared with blood. And it looks like dried blood. You don't know how long it's been there, but something is underneath and it's really hard to read.
If I think
that's what
it
you
can
see ahead of
be
you.
washed off, then I would ask Thanthui to use his mace to run some water over it. If I think it's like repairable, like if it's like the wall is eroded, I might try and use mending, depending on which I think.
It seems to be both. It seems to be both.
Roll for art restoration.
I'll take a course. Thanthui, I could use your assistance over here.
Okay, what do you need?
You see this part of the mural that's been obscured. Do you think you could wash off the blood without damaging anything underneath?
Maybe, but it might damage the whole painting or the mural.
I can try and repair it after, but it would be... I'm not sure how much I can repair.
Well,
I need to see what is underneath, though.
okay. So Thanthui's going to lightly use his mace and
Thanthui, you lightly place your mace against the wall. You would see the mace glow with that beautiful blue light, and then water just sort of trickles down. It just immediately washes away the smudge and the dirt until it's just the what was the painting underneath. But the painting seems to be damaged. The wall has been bashed by something. Perhaps somebody wanted to shield this part or something like that.
So I don't know if this would work. This is kind of up to you. I'm going to try and use mending on the wall. I suppose if there's anything like if the stone has crumbled, maybe I can try and like...
It's not stone. Remember, this is painted over this temple is
metal.
made of metal.
Metal, right?
Right.
Okay.
So the walls are actually made of metal, and then this seems to be paintings that the ancient Hearthglen giants made.
Okay. Well, if it's metal,
and that they painted
then
over the metal walls.
that might be a better
Yep.
medium, because I can repair like broken metal. So I'm gonna use mending, like kind of rub my hands over the broken or smashed in parts and try and buff it out.
Yeah. And when you start to mend it, suddenly you see it's not just mending the words on the wall, which are revealed to be this, but also what seems to be a lever of some kind.
Ooh.
You start to mend a lever in the wall.
That's creepy.
Yeah, Tyrannus is going to lean in to try and read what I just uncovered. It seems to say that something, she shields us from death's gaze. This is her celestial duty. Does that mean anything to anyone else?
No.
Would that mean anything to me, Adam? Can I do any check?
No. I mean, this is not. Well, I mean, I guess you could roll a history check, and I guess anybody who grew up in Umbra specifically can roll a history check. So that would just be Ben or Bonnie, or I guess Tyrannus too.
17.
5.
Yeah, good. This is why you're asking, Tyrannus, because you didn't know.
Yeah.
Ben, are you gonna roll too or no?
Yeah, I will. There's maybe this mother of monsters is supposed to kind of protect us from this evil son of a bitch over here, Kasef. Saying that, I'm gonna do my
History check, see how accurate.
natural 20.
Natural 20.
That's a theory I was kind of...
Okay, Bonnie, because this needed extremely high. 17 was not going to cut it.
Oof.
Right, I mean this to make the association, but here we are with Benjamin Grimshaw and his nat 20 on history. You say that, Ben, but then you start looking at the pictures and you start thinking really hard, and you start realizing that this picture here. Hold on, just gotta draw a shape. All this visual stuff must be great for the audience.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I know. I love this shit. But you would realize it is sort of in the shape of a circle, and it would remind you of the moon as well. So you come to the conclusion that this isn't necessarily a literal depiction, but some sort of metaphor for the great cycle of the blood moon and why it occurs. That once a year, souls must be sacrificed, chaos must be unleashed in order to bring order, to protect the realm from death's gaze. You've just suddenly, everything just sort of clicks.
I'll start relaying a lot of that, and be like, I'll go up to it and just kind of make that circle on the mural. And the blood moon, it's all about sacrifices. We gotta sacrifice to keep death happy, basically, or we're all gonna die. And he'll basically like fill in the pieces with all the other information that you've given me.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Oh, you rolled not 20.
So who's gonna die?
Well, when the blood moon comes, we experienced that. The werewolves, when I first met Kasef, he tore me and my gang apart like we were two toys. It must be related to the blood moon. Every blood moon, Kasef is unleashed.
And the blood moon's coming back soon.
It's like a cycle, a never-ending cycle.
We will need to stop it.
Stop a moon?
But I thought doesn't this say that the cycle is protecting us? She shields us from death's gaze.
But who does she shield exactly? Because if sacrifices have to be made, then some of us might die.
But then we'll just bring him back to life.
After the blood moon and Kasef reaches destruction, it means that like new life will be formed and created, but it also means new monsters will be created. It's kind of fucked up if you think about it. Wish these gods would just stay out of our business. Let us go about our peace.
We could sacrifice my pet.
And she looks over at the zombie.
But Kasef is the sacrifice. When the blood moon comes, he comes and gets his fill.
My brain hurts from this.
Does anybody see that lever there?
Oh yeah.
Fan 3 pushing the plot along.
I want to pull that lever.
Wait, don't
do it.
pull
What
that.
do you do?
Don't pull the lever, Thanthui.
Why? It's
We
there.
don't know what it does.
Only one way to find out.
Bonnie pulls
No,
it.
there's more than one way to find out.
Do it.
Bonnie just pulled the lever. Okay, you found the secret lever. Bonnie, you pull it. Suddenly you would all just hear as if it's giant cogs and machines moving in the walls and below your feet. Everything starts to rumble a bit. And this depiction on the right here disappears. So get your fill because I'm about to hide it forever.
Oh, I've got it.
And it disappears because the wall shifts and changes, comes out, and then flips around. And you would see another mural revealed in its place.
Ooh, naked people.
See? I really did pull that dick.
You're a 14-year-old creature, Dave.
I am a 40-something-year-old, 14-year-old now, apparently.
A chaotic image now, not in order like before. You would just see the temple itself being depicted with all of these natural disasters, a giant flood, thunder and lightning storms, earthquakes, a volcano erupting, just complete disaster. You would see chaos everywhere. You would see that same dagger depicted on the other mural being held by the leader of the Hearthglen Giants, now being held by a different figure on some sort of pedestal in a faraway land. You would see bodies completely consumed by death and decay at the bottom. What would you like to look into?
I'm gonna study that dagger.
Okay, it is written in Giant, so just roll a history check on that.
That's a solid 7.
Okay, so you fumble that. You don't know any association there, but you do recognize the words in giant.
The dagger of the Primus.
Yep.
Gonna give it another shot of depicting the words on the top mural, like the one with the dagger on it.
Yeah,
in the faraway lands.
Go ahead.
Let's see if he rolls better. He rolls slightly better.
Slightly better, but not much. You would notice this.
The giants of Heartglen are the chosen of the Primus.
Ben, I want you to roll a history check with advantage.
I was going to ask him to, because I remember he was mentioning some stuff before when we were walking into the
Yeah.
temple.
Wow, nat 20. Jesus, Ben, you should be doing them all. Ben, you'd
I
recognize...
was letting them try and figure it out. I wanted them to feel good, you know?
Ben, you get a... You would look at the original mural on the left side here, which is at the top here. And you would... Ben, do you see the two goofy-looking faces on each side of that mural? One by the moon and one by the comet?
Yes.
You would recognize those as looking like faces of creatures that you've heard of named Modrons, which are creatures of Mechanus, a technological civilization in a
We're in
realm.
a tomb of Mechanus, right?
And this is so you would make that association that this entire tomb must. You didn't know this until now with your nat 20. The Primus is quite literally the god of machines and machinery. He is known as the One and the Prime, and that these faces depicted on each side of that giant holding the dagger in the box depicts Modrons from Mechanus. So you would interpret this completely different now and see that these giants were uplifted, given intelligence by Mechanus. And
So basically,
their
the
duty,
Primus and Mechanus are one. It's all.
yeah, exactly. The Primus, like, they're a hive mind, basically. The Primus controls all Modrons are Primus. It's a giant, it's pure order, if you can imagine. You would know that these giants were given the dagger of the Primus to safeguard it, to protect it.
So I'll let them all. How did I not see this before? These guys up here, these are Modrons. And this fella over here, he's the Primus. Primus of Mechanus, even. This whole place, it's all him. He left that dagger for the giants. He entrusted it to him. He represents order, and Kasef is the opposite of that. It's like yin and yang, order and chaos.
Yeah,
My brain still hurts. Stop it.
you got Belgrath over there popping some ibuprofen.
So, what's the significance of this dagger? Is the dagger inside this temple?
From what I understand, he uplifted and entrusted the giants and left it to them. So I don't know if they still have it. This was... Who knows how old.
It looks like the dagger is in a different land by what the mural looks like.
Says something here about... Safe dagger in the Sanctum. So where's the Sanctum? We gotta find the Sanctum.
Unless this is the Sanctum.
We're in the Sanctum.
Well, what part of the Sanctum?
Is anybody going to read more on the mural on the left side? Bonnie, I don't think you did yet, so you can try. I'm sure before Ben comes in and rolls another nat 20 on it and tells you everything you need to know.
I will try. Natural 20.
Jesus.
Nice.
All right. you would see this written. So read that. You see the dagger of the Primus, and then you would see this figure here reaching for it. Or using it.
Beware the great deceiver when he comes to collect his prize, for he who holds the dagger holds the key to Umbra's demise.
And then at the bottom it says,
When the Hound howls, the realm will be plunged into chaos. Will swallow the realm, only the Primus can restore order and life.
do
And
I
that-
know what any of that means?
No, you would just know whoever the great deceiver is they're talking about. This seems to be him. This depiction up here. And he seems to have red and black skin. That's everything. I have nothing more.
Okay.
Guys, let me know what you do.
I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm just looking at everything,
So like taking mental notes.
Taking it in.
trying to, piece together.
So basically, we find the dagger. So that we stop this chaos.
If they left it in the Sanctum and we're in the Sanctum, it's got to be here somewhere unless somebody else found it.
Elatrice approaches. She says, it seems to me like the dagger has been here for a long time. Should we not just clear out the vampires and let the giants take care of it? If it's their duty to safeguard it.
But there are only 2 giants left. Remember the ones that we came here with?
If they can't safeguard it against vampires, then how will they stand up to the, what was it, the Great Deceiver?
I think we got to find it and, I don't know,
Safeguard it
Fine.
ourselves?
find somebody worthy of keeping it safe.
Are you saying that this is why the vampires are here?
I wasn't saying that. Do you think that, Elatrice?
I'm simply going off of what you've been saying, but it does make sense, no?
The vampires said something about the Nocturne. Perhaps that's another name for this Great Deceiver?
The Nocturne are... I do know of them. None of you asked me, but now that you've brought it up, they're a group that has been whispered, and I've heard some traders speaking about them. They're a group of different types of monsters that are working together to bring about what they call the Eternal Night.
Definitely sounds like they would be connected to this.
They wish to plunge Umbra into chaos. But they're not just vampires. They're all sorts of different creatures and monsters that seem to have a common goal. I've heard they're werewolves, amongst other things. And she sort of looks over at Bonnie.
I'm a changeling. I told you this. We are natural creatures.
Yes. How would you all like to proceed? Belgarath, she sort of heals your head a little bit. You look like you have a headache. Let me just help you out there.
Too much knowledge for my tiny brain.
Danthry's going to look at Bonnie, though, and go, but you're a changeling, and you deceived us. Would you not be somewhat connected to this?
Thantry, we all had our secrets.
Yeah, but yours is a little bit more.
Nobody's secrets is worse than the others. It all depends on how you perceive it.
You're a deceiver.
Tyrannus is going to pull the lever again
Yep. And when you do that, the wall seems to shake. There's some gears and cogs moving, and the wall comes out, flips around, and goes back to the original drawing or the
And then
original painting.
then I'm gonna try and break the lever.
Okay. Roll. I'll just say that you break it. That's fine. You could break the lever again. I mean, you're able to mend it. I don't see why you couldn't break it.
Just dent it back in.
I'm gonna take it or whatever. If I can snap it off, I'm just gonna take it with me.
All right. That seemed to have been a piece of information. So you saw the past, you saw what the cycle was in the present, and then what you saw was some sort of prophecy of the future. And that was what was behind the wall there. So, and you've now destroyed the lever so nobody else can see it or find it. Okay. So, what do you all do?
So, what kind of shape are we all in? Like, any of us hurt or anything? I can't really remember.
I'm doing pretty well.
Pretty beaten.
I'm a little bit mentally exhausted.
Maybe we should camp out here for a few hours, kind of catch our breath before we push on. Who knows how many more vampires are down here?
Hey, can a zombie thing talk or no?
No, it's a zombie.
Okay.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Would Anthony be able to speak to it, though?
No. Oh, you mean like
No.
speak with the dead?
Speak with the dead.
God damn.
Wouldn't it technically work?
I gotta see the speaking with the dead spell real quick.
Because he's animated dead. Like he's alive for the next. He's alive now, but I have control over him for 24 hours.
To a corpse of your choice without allowing the answer to a question, I suppose. Fuck it. I mean, it's more fun just to say yes. So I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, it is a corpse. It's just an animated corpse right now. So.
Doesn't return the creature's soul to its body.
All I can picture is like that scene from Hellboy, that dead dude that they like bring back to make them help them.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking let me go, release me.
Okay.
He's all pissed off.
So Thanthui, is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay, you guys would see Thanthui walk up to the zombie vampire who's like, yeah. What do you do?
All right, I cast Speak with Dead on it. Thanthui's actually going to go up to the zombie. Oh, is it's like... I want to imagine its face is like, its jaw is like unhinged or something. He's just going to like shove the jaw back in place.
Yeah.
So it actually has like a face. And Thanthui's going to like whirl his hands around its face, and he'll just turn to Bonnie and be like, I can speak to this creature if you want me to ask questions.
Perfect. Find out how many more of them there are.
This blue glow just sort of infuses into its body. Its body starts to bubble and shake a bit, and you would see water start to flow out of its the vampire's eyeballs, its mouth, and where it's because its head was severed in the in the space where its head was severed, just water leaking out.
What do you seek?
So Thanthui's going to turn to Bonnie and just be like, you want me to ask about how many more vampires are here?
Yes, we know what we're up against.
So Thanthui's going to turn and be like, how many more vampires are around?
We are legion. We are legion.
Thanthui's going to turn back and be like, he's just saying legion. He is a legion. We are legion. I don't know what that means.
But in the sanctum, 3 remain. He will kill you all for what you have done. Don't worry. You'll help us kill him.
No, I wouldn't say that, Bonnie.
He has no choice.
Danthry's gonna ask, do you know anything about a dagger hidden somewhere around here?
The dagger lays in the secret chamber. The riddle must be solved to retrieve it. The ritual is nearly complete.
And where is this ritual being held?
You see his rattly little hand, his bones shaking, and he turns and he points in the direction of where that dead vampire is, up on the north of the map there, up the hallway, the one that was burned to death by Ben's turret. The bloodletting has begun. The moon is complete. The way will be opened.
That's not creepy at all.
I think we need to stop this ritual. He said it's almost complete.
Which means no time to rest for us. Is there anything else? I have 2 more questions we can ask.
I don't have any other questions.
How's he doing?
How you doing?
So, is there anything special we need to know about getting into this area where the ritual is?
Ask him about his is there a leader? Is there a... Didn't they mention someone? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Come on, you got a few more questions. Let's go.
Is there...
How long do we have?
Yeah, how long do we have until the ritual is over?
How much longer until this ritual is complete?
We were almost complete when we heard you enter. Not long now.
And
The
what's the
giant has been sacrificed by now. You can no longer save her.
I want to cast. Fuck, I just said where to go. Right.
Save her.
Here. Locate creature, and I want to locate the vampires. I'm going to start heading towards them.
You detect
Just
them.
kind of detect their presence, and I'm just
They're up
heading
here.
towards them.
They're up here to the north.
No time like the present, ladies. Let's go. And I'm going to start marching.
I agree. I'm gonna follow Ben.
Bonnie's gonna go very injured.
No, because actually, Elatrice is going to put a hand on your shoulder, Bonnie, and she's going to cast Cure Wounds on you.
Oh, that's nice of her.
You get healed for 8.
All right.
It's not much, but...
Thank you, Elatrice. And on a side note, I mean, when this is all over, you can always join us in our adventures. It'll get you away from Deckard and you can be free.
I feel like that's a bigger conversation that we can have later, Bonnie, yes. But thank you.
Just think about it. We'll take care of you.
We have to survive this first.
Oh, we will.
Rasuan follows all of you. Thanthri, are you going to pull the talking with the dead?
Nah, one more question. Is it concentration?
The zombie, because he is still a zombie, is following Bonnie.
I'm gonna hold this one last question.
Make sure I command my turret to follow me until
Yeah.
further notice.
And you guys would see at the end of the hallway here a door. It's a giant door that seems to show two Hearthglen giants holding up what looks like the blood moon. And they're made of metal. And below them seem to be small little metal men. And that's what the door looks like. And just from outside of this large chamber door, you'd hear commotion inside. Okay, what do you all do?
I'm going to see what kind of mechanism opens the door. Is it a push? Is it a pull? Automatic?
So roll a investigation check.
It's actually a rolling door.
That's a 7. I can't get above a 10, apparently.
No, you just can't make heads or tails of this.
Ben, you seem to be proficient in these matters. Can you figure out how to open this door?
I'll give it a shot.
What the hell?
That's a 21.
Billy's on a roll, apparently.
Watch, combat's gonna come. I'm gonna get fucking ones. Watch.
He wasted all his 20s.
Straight up.
Okay, so yeah, Ben, you approach the door. So approach the door. You'd see the charred corpse of that vampire that you took out with your turret, but you'd notice the only thing that isn't charred is the end of its forearm and hand, which seem to be reaching for a hidden lever that is on the floor.
I'll just kind of, kind of hold the lever.
Yeah.
I think I found it here. I don't want to quite open it just in case.
Yeah. Is everyone ready? We don't know what's going to be through that door.
This is
How
one
many
of the
are on the
vampires.
other side of this door?
We know there's 3 left.
Yeah.
3? I didn't hear that part.
No,
That
yeah.
was
Two
reading.
questions, Santwi. It's up
I
to
feel like
you.
there should be like a question of
How do we kill them when they're not asleep in their chamber?
see, I should know that through my book because I
Yeah,
went
you-
through all the vampire stuff.
Yeah, you're already aware of all their weaknesses and stuff, Santwi.
Yeah.
Is the only way of killing them
I
if
believe
they're
it's fire and silver.
There it is, monster.
Their weaknesses, I believe, are running water, sunlight, are radiant, and something else.
Well, this fella didn't do too kindly with the fire I tried to give him.
Yeah. Steak. Yeah, pretty much running water. Depends on what they are, actually. 'Cause there's a running water, and if they're big baddie guys there.
There's a giant mug at him.
I'm drinking blood.
It's a vampire.
So it's just running water, steak to the heart when they're sleeping, and sunlight.
Okay, so no more questions. Okay.
I feel like just going in.
Okay.
Before we go in, Bonnie looks down and makes sure her flame is still on her light is still on her blade, which it is.
Rasuon is going to activate the blur feature of his scarf.
Okay. Yeah. Rasuan prepares himself for battle. You guys would see his body sort of shimmer and shake with some sort of spiritual magic. And what do you do?
Tyrannus casts Shield of Faith on himself as well.
Okay.
He's actually going to ask one question. He's like, can anyone, if the dagger's in there, can anybody actually touch it? Or does it have to be like a special kind of person?
Are you asking this to the zombie?
Yes.
I do not know. Only Nosfer would know that.
Okay.
Open the door, Ben.
Alright, so I'm gonna pull the lever, and as I'm doing that, I want to go stealth.
Okay, you pull the lever and you realize you see the door go clunk, clunk, and it's unlocked the door and it's just slowly cracked open just a little bit. So you're able to just are you guys planning to go in stealthily, all of you?
Danthry is going to activate his mace at high velocity and shoot through the door.
Nice.
Oh, really?
A nice
What do you
geyser.
mean? What do you mean your mace at high velocity?
The mace has the.
Yeah, it shoots 30 feet, but it's like it sprays water. It doesn't like.
Use hydro pump.
I guess you can make a geyser.
But it's geyser, you know?
I
It's considered a geyser. Whatever.
It's called geyser. I mean, geysers go.
Okay. All right. So I guess you're not going in stealthily, except for Ben, because that's
rolled a
definitely
14.
going to break it. So Ben, you sort of try to slip in the shadows. I allowed for you guys to try to go in in some sort of stealthy way, so you could get
No.
some intel. But that ain't happening.
want it.
The
We don't
door
want it.
just bursts open,
Do it.
and this is what you see inside.
Oh god, I'm gonna die.
No, you're not. You're fine.
Nah, he's gonna die.
I'm gonna die.
Fine.
I do straight hand-to-hand combat.
Just hide behind me. You're fine.
So you all step aside as Fan 3 points his mace forward, and a geyser of water goes flying inside. And ahead of you is a large circular room. The floors, the whole room is made of metal, as you can imagine. There are large circular platforms around the room. Each of the platforms seems to have a mirror. These mirrors are all pointed in different directions and everything. At the very center of the room, some sort of ritual has been activated during the time that you guys were looking at all the other stuff. There is what looks like a red orb of blood floating in the middle of the room. And it's just gushing and gushing. And you would see more blood being rushed into this orb as there are 2 vampires on each side and what seems to be some sort of animated bloody weapon that's stabbed into the neck of this hill giant. The blood from the hill giant floats in the air into this orb that's in the center of the room, as if it's just been absorbing the hill giant's blood this whole time. And the vampires look over immediately, but your geyser hits a barrier as there is a circular dome surrounding them and the ritual. It's like a dome of rushing blood. Some sort of magical dome that just looks like blood just rushing down. And when your water hits the blood, this dome just repels it entirely, and your water just doesn't do anything or go anywhere. The 2 vampires, both of them looking different than the other ones out there. These 2 are elven vampires. One of them, yeah. The female one looks over at the male. She goes, Vezrin, what do we have here? And he looks forward and says, it looks like our meal has come to us. We will deal with you momentarily, mortals, once we finish with this one. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna walk over to Bonnie quickly and just kind of put my hand on her shoulder. Looks like this one might get rough, kiddo. Yeah. Cast Cure Wounds on her as well.
Aww.
An extra 5.
Still gonna die. Thank you. You let me live a little bit longer.
It's the best I got.
You'll be fine, Dave.
Tyrannus is going to rush in and like go to the edge of the barrier and just kind of like maybe move his glaive towards it to see if like he can pierce it.
Yeah. You rush in. When you do, you'd see that the female vampire, with almost inhuman speed, zaps right up to where you are at the barrier, and she just stares at you. She smiles and tilts her head at you. And your glaive, you raise it and you slowly move it against the barrier, and it feels like just solid rock. Yeah.
Boy. If
Oh,
Tanthry,
it seems it's not working.
Your last question. Ask him how we get through the barrier.
So I'll turn to the zombie bay. How do we get through this barrier?
Good thing we saved those questions.
See?
This is the last question, by the way.
Nah.
Michael planned this. He's a smart guy.
I'm going hair here.
You must trick one of them and make them drop it. But it's too late now.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
As Tyrannus, sorry, you're just moving your glaive up against the barrier. The lightning zaps, but it just seems ding ding, just solid rock. And she just smiles and tilts her head. Oh, Dragonborn. Your tempest cannot help you here. But if you behave, I will let you be my pet.
I want to try and charge the wall. Like, use my mechano leg and, like, supercharge and just, like, shoulder it and just, like, see if I can break through.
Sure, you go right ahead. Honestly, you run straight into the wall. It's like running into a wall, man. Like, you just hit a wall. Boom! And then you just fall back.
Like,
yeah, I know, but
either get through or...
You can't get through, though. You can't get through by running into it, so there's...
Just, like... I'm a cowboy, dude.
No, I'm aware, I know. And I'm telling you what the result is. The end result's the same. You just ran into a wall.
I love that description. You run into the wall. It's like running into a wall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I'm trying to either, like, distract them or, like, get some kind of, like, something.
You will, but I'm just telling you what happened. So you guys would see Benjamin go, ah, and then he goes running into the wall. The two vampires watch as you crash into it and then fall back onto your back and you're behind.
Say, I'm not the most brash guy. I just...
The two vampires look at each other and just sort of side-eye each other like, what the fuck?
Danthry wants to cast spiritual weapon inside the dome behind the female vampire, or attempt to, I guess.
Yeah, so question, well, okay, if you guys are just doing this combat, we're gonna have to roll for initiative, right? But my question here is, where the fuck did Tyrannus just go?
I just casted invisibility.
What? Okay, that's fine. You cast invisibility.
You can't see me anymore.
Shut up. Put yourself back in. You
I
can't.
can't. You have to.
Oh my god.
Before Than3 does that and to initiate combat, Belgrad's going to go over to the male vampire, turn around and try to intimidate him and make him like flustered or like upset and mad by shaking his ass at him, saying he can't get him.
You're engaging combat.
That's not engaging combat. That's intimidation. Wouldn't really be considered it.
I don't know.
Mockery.
Yeah, trying to mock him, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you do that. That's fine. Go ahead.
Let's see.
Is it bare ass though? I need the details. Are you pulling your pants down?
I'd say bare ass. Yeah.
Jeez.
Let's see if this works. 13 to intimidation.
You would see this vampire just sort of look at you. He looks down, and he has cold blue eyes, this one. And then he looks over at the other one, and then he looks back and he goes, "Who are all of you?"
Damn.
Your futile attempts to breach our barrier are just that. Why don't we have a conversation? And then the female sort of looks over at the male and says, "Clearly, that is not going to happen."
Goddamn civilized vampires.
Yeah, they were civil, but now we have no choice. We're just going to have to roll for initiative, everybody.
Oh.
I'm sorry, guys. You all
That's
just want
so
to do
much
combat,
planned.
and we're going to do combat.
Bonnie was going to do something.
I had so
All
much
right, what were
planned.
you going to do, Bonnie? What were you going to do? You tell me.
Bonnie was then, you know that one female that we killed, the vampire?
Uh-huh.
She's going to shapeshift into her. And then run over here and be like, "Sister, Quickly, let me in.
After all this happened, then the vampire runs in.
This vampire looks over at you, looks back, she bares her teeth, and she's like, firstly, you were not my sister. You were below me, whelp. Secondly, I just saw you enter with these others.
I was in the hallway, Adam. You did not see me.
You just ran in like David. Think about what's happened so far. The
was
doors
down
burst
here.
open with water. Some dragonborn came up and poked the barrier. A goblin came up and showed his ass. A human robot man just ran into it. And then you kept running up. Sister, it's me. David, I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. You are with them. You didn't, like, there's no way they're not going. You can roll a deception check with disadvantage.
Okay.
I will
Two
give
nat
you
20s, two nat 20s, two nat 20s, two nat 20s.
That would be amazing. My face hurts from laughing.
See, now my floating weapon sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, so you cast a what? You cast your weapon, Thanthui?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to make. I'm gonna double you up because we still haven't made a token. What does your weapon look like?
It looked like the trident that Tyrannus had,
Yeah.
but like a water version type. Like it's a water elemental version of the trident.
You can place it. That's your weapon.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
with a little token.
Gotcha. Okay. He was literally going to be right behind the vampire.
I can control that too.
Stop controlling everything.
All right, everybody. I'm sorry, but just roll for initiative. If combat's what you want,
Bring
we're
up
doing
the
combat.
turn tracker first, then we can select our token so it does it.
Okay, so I need Rasuan's.
I don't have control of his token, but
You definitely do. I thought I gave you.
oh wait,
control.
it
One
did.
second.
It did. Okay, sorry. But he rolled a 6.
So
13.
Bonnie,
Mine's 12.
Thanthui.
And the vampire is... the vampire spawn thing. Does he go when I go, or...
Well, let's just make him go when you go, just to make it easy. Okay, Thanthui.
Yeah, it was 20.
Okay,
Natural
Tyrannus.
20.
7.
Okay, Belgrath.
6.
Okay, Rasuan.
6.
Okay. Okay. First on turn order is Thanthui.
So if I were to hold my action, can I use my bonus action for my spiritual weapon?
Yeah.
Excellent.
What are you holding?
You
You have to tell me beforehand.
I know. I'm
And the stipulation. for when
looking
it
at
would-
my spells left. Gosh darn it.
Well,
I'm gonna hold one of my spells, Shield of Faith.
Okay.
But as his bonus action, he's gonna use the weapon to try to stab the vampire in the back.
Okay, go ahead. So within the barrier, your spiritual weapon, which is the trident, appears, attempts to stab the male elven vampire in the back with the female on the other side. Gotcha.
Yes, so 15 to
Okay.
AC.
Yeah, sorry. I'm still just, that hits. Ding.
So it does 8 damage.
8 damage. What type of damage is it?
Force damage.
Force damage? Okay.
Yes.
So this vampire is just stabbed, or sorry, it's a spiritual weapon. Is just bashed in the back by your weapon. And he just turns around and hisses at it, and then you'd see blue claws elongate on his hands as he readies them.
Let's fight.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
That'll be the end of my turn.
You would all hear a voice around you. Such an old place, yet it reeks of modernity. I do not know why you have come here, mortals, but you will regret interfering in my work. As you would all look up and see walking on the ceiling, as if gravity has no bearing upon him, is a very tall, slender elven man, bald, pale skin, eyes that are black and red. He's wearing a fine suit that is mostly red with a long black cape. And he floats off the top of the roof and lands down. And this sword that's stabbed into the neck of this giant who's just keeled over, she's just like bleeding, pulls out and then surrounds him floating. So you would get the sense that he is the one who has been controlling this animated sword.
Did he fall through the barrier?
The barrier goes up to the roof. He was walking on the roof.
Okay, so he was inside already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then now he's landed, and he looks around at all of you. How interesting. He looks at... Oh wait, you're invisible, right, Tyrannus?
Yep.
He doesn't seem to notice you. He looks at the spiritual weapon without any fear. Looks over at Bonnie pretending to be this vampire. And then he looks over at Ben. And he stares at Ben. Perhaps we won't need to get our hands dirty. As he walks up to the bloody orb that's just pulsating in the center of this ritual circle. And he slowly moves his hand into the orb. You are all here believing you will kill us. You believe many things as mortals. You believe that one there is your friend, but I smell different. Yes, he is not your friend. He is an animal. A child of the blood moon now. He is an animal who once dreamed of being a man, but that dream is over now, and it's time for the beast to awaken. And as he moves his hand forward, suddenly the barrier drops as he's breaking the ritual circle. And this beam of light, of moonlight, flies directly towards Ben. And Ben, you're engulfed with this red energy as pure red moonlight engulfs you. And you're... Suddenly something inside of you, something you've been hiding, begins to emerge and change. As Nosfer steps to the side and walks over to Ben. Rise. Change. Show them who you really are. So what does it look like, Ben? As this is happening to you.
So, Ben will just kind of like hold his chest like... Something I forgot to tell you guys. And then he'll just... But, you guys should be running. Right now. As he kind of begins...
Yeah. As his claws come out and you dig them into the metal ground, you'd all hear as his body morphs and change, fur grows, his mouth, he lets out a scream as a snout grows as well. His clothes rip apart completely as Ben transforms into a werewolf. And this Nosfer, this vampire, this blade still encircling him, just puts his hands behind his back in a really regal way. And then that's how he's going to spend his turn. I'm going to be very nice. That's how he's going to spend his turn. And then he's going to say, kill the turtle first. He is the healer. Follow it with the spellcaster. He's somewhere still in the room. And that is where we're going to move on to the next person. Ben, it's your turn.
Me.
Great. Da-da-da. On that, actually, before he moves, I'm gonna cast that Shield of Faith on myself.
As Ben, actually, yeah, because Ben is like now, he's right in front of you, and you've had a run-in with a werewolf before, right? So Ben then is large now and turns around. You see his metal face is still there, his metal parts. He has a metal arm.
I'm half man, half wolf, half cyborg.
Yep.
3 halves make a whole.
Man, cyber wolf.
Where bearborg? I don't know. Man wolfborg.
All right, what are you doing? Ben, it's your turn.
Well, I guess I'm gonna bite him.
Who are you going to bite?
Thankfully, since that's what I was commanded to, so I gotta do as I'm told.
I've been bit before, I can do it again. Ba-da-ba-ba.
That's 12
Oh, it's a
Miss.
No.
Two
It's
year-
not. It's a 22.
or 22. I don't know. Oh yeah, there it is.
And then he has to do
I
a
see, DC 12.
Constitution save
I see.
of 12. That's what that is.
So 22, Michael.
Yeah, that hits.
Feels weird attacking you guys. DC save of 12.
Ooh, he made it.
Yeah.
Rolled a 12.
So that's just 7 piercing damage, I believe.
Alright. I'll take it.
The DC is just if you get cursed or not, so you don't get cursed. So you're not going to be turned into a werewolf, turtle.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I would be, right? That's what I thought.
Just to let you know, your little turret that's on the ground can no longer, while you're in this form, you can't legibly tell it what to do. It's just going to sit still. Completely still.
I
you
figure
can't use it on your
essentially-
bonus actions. So, like, you couldn't burn Thanthui right now with it, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah, I figured I wouldn't have command of it.
Next,
But I do actually have multi-attack.
oh, okay, so what are you going to do?
Ooh, snap.
Not trying to be a dick, just playing the role. I'm going to also attack him with my claws.
The one time he remembers his mechanics for his character.
It's 9 to your AC.
Miss.
Beautiful. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I got. I don't even have control of my token. I'm like full beast mode right now.
Okay. Oh, sorry, is that
Oh, my werewolf. Just,
Billy? Is that the end of your turn? It's your turn. Right?
that is, yes.
No, it feels like it was a creature's turn, but it's not. Okay,
No, I did say I was done.
legendary action. The Nosfer is going to attack the zombie vampire with his sword. The sword that's floating around him then goes, he sort of looks at that zombie, disgusted by it, and just goes flying through the air to go stab.
This is the first time I actually get to use my werewolf stats, and it's against you guys, ironically.
14 to AC.
That's a hit.
Okay, it needs to do a con save.
Okay, so let's do this. D20. Oh no, hold on a minute. That one did not count. That's to add the 3. There we go. There you go.
Okay, it survives the con
16.
save. It takes, it still takes 9 slashing damage and 4 necrotic damage, so 13 damage total.
Perfect. He's still alive.
Okay. It has this blade, and you guys would get a better view of this blade now. It seems to be made of some sort of glimmering black metal, and it constantly looks like it's bleeding. And there seems to be some sort of like eye upon it that's just like blinking at you. And as it flies forward, the vampire just raises his hand like this, like he's controlling it with his mind. Okay. And the blade is sticking into the zombie right now. That's the end of his turn. Bonnie, it's the end of my bonus action, or my legendary action, I should say.
She tells him to go after the main one, so he'll run over to this one and attack it. The zombie will? Mm-hmm. Alright. Ignore that. I'm trying to get into that whole rolling thing. There we go. That's what I want. There we go. 6.
Why do you keep rolling twice?
I keep clicking the wrong button.
Okay. 6. You rolled
6 to attack him. He missed.
Got you. Okay. So the zombie goes to slash at him, and he just sort of absentmindedly pushes the zombie's hand away. You are speaking to a vampire lord. You disgusting creature. That's the end of your turn, or no? It's Bonnie's turn now. Bonnie. Yep. Okay, let's go.
So Bonnie runs up to this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And she will attack with her Bonnie's Bane.
You didn't prep it with the radiant thing, did you?
I did before we went into the room.
Okay. So this is radiant damage.
Booyah. Yep. Well, yeah, so it's 24 is to hit. So that's 7 damage. Plus, let's go into my radiant.
Hey, 24 hits, just to let you know.
I figured, yeah.
Feel free to fuck me up a little bit there, Michael, by the way.
Plus 2.
I don't know if I want to.
Plus 2 radiant damage.
Knock my ass out.
Yeah,
Okay,
7
so 9.
regular damage, yeah. And then plus 2 for the radiant damage.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then she's going to, as a bonus action, she can attack with her blade again, right? 2 weapon fighting. What? No, I hit right. Give me 1 second. I hit the wrong one. I'm sorry.
You seem to be doing that a lot today.
I know.
He's rusty.
12 to attack.
The 12 to hit, you mean?
Yeah.
That misses.
Okay, so that's the end of her turn.
Okay. In response, it's now the vampire's spawn's turn. She's going to attack you back.
She can try.
She's going to hit you with 2 attacks. One with her claws. 16 to AC.
That's a miss.
Okay, and then a bite, 9 to AC.
That's a miss.
Attempts to claw at you, just chips against your armor, and then goes to bite at you, and she ends up biting into your blade instead, and you just sort of are having a back and forth with her. The other one is going to hiss at the magical weapon, then turn back to the little goblin that showed off his ass to him. He's going to run up and attack Belgarath.
You provoked him.
Okay, so 8 for its claw.
Miss.
And 8 for its bite.
Miss.
Okay. So that is the end of their turn. It's now Tyrannus' turn.
I'd like to spend my turn investigating these mirrors because I'm invisible for
Okay.
up to an hour. So I want to see what. Like,
Roll an investigation.
12.
So the purpose of the mirrors, you can't really tell, but you would look up. You just see that there are 6 of them, and that they're all pointed in random directions. But you just can't make the connection, unfortunately, with the 12 on what you're supposed to do with them. But when you looked up, you would see there is there is a mural with some writing on the roof. And it says this.
Okay.
And, sorry, 1 second. God, these menus are not very user-friendly. That's what it says. And you would notice there are 3 doors in this room. The one on the left depicts 2 creatures. The one up north here depicts 2 creatures, and the ones on the right depicts 2 creatures. But just with your 12, you can't quickly look and see what those creatures are, just with all the commotion.
Okay. In that case, the only other thing, I guess that's an action.
Yeah, I'd count it as that.
I'm going to move down here and end my turn.
Okay. You're kind of in the wall right now, so I'm going to move you here.
Oh.
Like that. This is where the wall ends, right? Okay, you're going to move here. So you're sort of between Belgarath and the
I'd like to be,
male vampire while they're fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Hold on one second. Okay. Next is Belgarath. What do you do?
With the male vampire trying to hit him, he will go rage. Enraged by this. Mm-hmm. And will try to smack him twice with his club.
Okay. Look at this clusterfuck of bodies right now.
First attack will be 17.
Okay, that hits. Yep.
Second attack will be 15 to hit.
That hits too.
So,
you're doing 2-hand, right?
Yeah, so 7 and 6.
Okay, so 13 damage.
Total.
Okay, you smash that motherfucker.
That'll be everything. I end my turn.
Okay. Next is Rasuan. What does Rasuan do?
Oh, sorry. Rasuan is going to, I can't move him, but I'd like him to sneak around up to here, to the mirror on the right side, if you can see where I'm pinging.
Yeah, just give me a second here. I can't get him. Okay, sorry. You want him on the mirror on the right side, like here? Okay, I see.
In the middle.
Yep.
And then he's going to throw his javelin of lightning at the one closest to Belgarath.
Oh, I see. So you've angled yourself.
Yes.
For the javelin to move through all 3 vampires.
Yes.
You should totally take a photo of that. It's actually really good. Little line here. Okay.
And let me just throw that up there. So everyone has to make a DC 13 dex saving throw.
Anybody within the line?
Yeah.
Okay, does that include Bond? I guess you're going to angle it in such a way that it would hit this guy and it would not hit your allies, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Bonnie would be. It's just that's the closest place I could put Bonnie to be with.
I've already said you're not going to get hit. Rasuan would. He's a trained military warrior. He would not want to hit you. I'm sure he can throw a javelin in a straight line. So
Even though he thinks I'm dirty.
dirty. Okay. So let's do that then. So sorry, what kind of save is it?
Dex save. DC 13.
Save. So we'll start with Nosfer. Okay.
Nosfer passes.
Nosfer passes, and then the one by Bonnie fails, a nat 1. Mm-hmm. She'll take double damage. And then the last one there, he also failed. So did Nosfer pass with the 16?
Yes, so he takes half of 17 lightning damage.
Okay.
And the double one takes.
Double one.
Well, let's
would
see
take,
the damage. Let's see the damage, and then we'll figure out.
It's all right there. So each one of them takes 17 lightning damage, or half if they pass.
Okay.
And then the final one, the one I aimed for beside Belgarath, also takes 7 piercing damage because the javelin goes into him.
So I'll say he takes 8. Nosfer takes 8.
And the other one takes 34.
This one up here.
She would take 34.
17.
Damn.
34. Okay.
And
As suddenly you guys would just hear the footsteps of Rasuan as he leaps over everybody, lands, and then throws this javelin of lightning in such a way it pierces right through the shoulder of the one fighting Bonnie. She lets out a scream. The Nosfer, their leader, sees it coming, sort of arches back, but the lightning still streaks and zaps him, and then it lands directly in the last one, and he lets out a scream. Okay, that was pretty kick-ass, Rasuan. Ray, we love you. Come back soon.
Oh, he's not done.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
That's his first attack, and now he's going to use a bonus action. Spend 1 key point and make a... Hold on. He's going to make 2 unarmed strikes, flurry of blows against the one beside Bonnie.
Okay, go ahead.
My savior.
How do I... 2... Is that right?
Flurry of blows, so 24.
1d6 plus 4.
Well, why'd you roll twice?
Hold on. You can spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Yeah, but this is saying flurry of blows.
I think
Yeah.
Fury Blows is its own little thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just one of those?
Yeah.
Because if I do unarmed strike...
You do an unarmed strike.
yeah,
that's unarmed.
Yeah, you
strike.
should be doing 2 of those. It was the same
Okay.
bonus, though. It was the same +7, right?
Yeah, it's the same
It's
thing.
just
So-
yeah. So we'll do so the 24 and the 16 both hit. So that's he then walks up and punches this vampire girl for 14 damage. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
She gonna die.
She got really fucked up. Okay. She lets
That's why
out
we
a
need Ray,
scream.
'cause he puts out so much damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the end of his turn?
That is the end of his turn.
Okay. It's now Elatrice's turn. Elatrice, you guys probably forgot she existed.
No, I double checked who's on there.
Yo.
Yeah, she's gonna shoot her longbow
I
twice
did.
at the main vampire. So she's back here. You guys are gonna see her run into the fray. Sorry, I should correct that. I forgot there's a fucking werewolf in front of her now. She wouldn't want to run past anytime soon. So she'd shoot you, Ben. I'm sorry. So she's gonna shoot Ben. That's 19 to AC,
That's it.
15 to AC.
That's it.
Okay, you take a total of 22 damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to open my notepad here to keep track of it. Okay, I got it. So.
Okay. So she shoots 2 bows, two arrows into the vampire, and then she looks over to Thanthui and says, "You should run."
I'm fine.
Okay. That's the end of her turn. Thanthui, it's your turn.
All right, so as his bonus action, he is going to use spiritual weapon and again stab this
The one down
vampire
there. Yeah.
here that's attacking Belgarath.
Okay, go ahead.
22 to AC.
That hits.
That'll be 11 force damage.
Ooh, okay.
And then, as Thanthui's action, he's going to protrude into a shell.
Of course he is. Okay. So it's just like it does that, and then when she says you should run away, you just look at her, and then suddenly, bloop, Thanthui just
Bye.
falls down into a shell, and this big werewolf Ben is just looking down at a shell on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, is that the?
Does that raise your AC like exponentially?
Just 4.
Only +4, but you know.
His AC's 60 now.
Is that the end of your turn?
Should imagine. Yes, that is the end of his turn.
Okay. Nosfer's turn. He's going to see the situation that's going on around him. First of all, he's going to direct his little wolfy pet, Mr. Benjamin Grimshaw. He's going to say, "Kill the girl." And then he's going to attack. 2 melee attacks.
I mean, if she died, she wouldn't be able to tell Deckard about Bonnie, so...
I mean, right? But I did
Cough,
roll a
cough.
natural 20, so I don't think she's actually going to. So
Okay, so with the advantage, just 12 to AC against the zombie. David, that's
Oh,
it.
Dave.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's a hit. I forgot it was a zombie.
Okay, the zombie takes 13, is it 11 slashing damage, 2 necrotic damage, 13 damage.
Okay. So that knocks him down to 0, which means he can now do a Constitution saving throw for 5 plus. He's got to try and get 23. He's got basically a natural 20.
Okay.
So
to
we'll-
try to stay alive, not die.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, that's not what. Stop it.
No, it doesn't matter. That's what you rolled, right? It's still
There we
D20.
go. That's what I
So.
want.
Okay.
14. He failed.
Okay.
The
So
zombie
you
is dead.
So you guys would just see as Nosfer's blade flies back and just slices the zombie directly in half on its way by. And the zombie is cut directly in half. He is then going to move forward, and he's going to attempt to strike at Thanthui.
Bring it.
Natural 1.
Bring it.
Natural 1. Fuck.
Bring it.
As his blade stays back, there, he walks forward, pretty much stands right beside Ben, the wolf, looks down at the shell. In his anger, you would see large red claws elongate from his hand, and he raises them up, and then he pierces down, and the ends of his claws actually snap and break against your shells, Thanthui. And he has a broken hand, and he just like pulls it back as his arm is trembling.
That's right.
Thanthui says from his shell. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Fucking die.
And then he looks down at his hand and he goes, I have been in slumber for 300 years. I am not yet at my full strength. Then that is kind of the end of his turn. Yeah. So moving on is Ben. And then he just sort of points. Forget her! Kill it!
Jeez.
What, referring to the turtle?
The little shell that's on the ground, yeah.
I'm going to bite and claw at his shell.
Okay.
13. Bite.
Nothing's piercing that
Miss.
shell.
Natural 20 claw.
What the hell?
So you go to bite at it.
It's like my third or fourth one today. Holy shit.
The wereben just like starts gnawing at it with his teeth. He's like, "Ah," like a dog with a toy, right? He's like,
Are Billy's attacks?
Yeah, how come I'm not seeing
Yeah,
any
I
of
was
this?
gonna say, I don't see
I'm not
either.
seeing any attack from Billy.
oh, okay. Because he's using a creature, it's only coming to me. It's okay.
Yeah, we're not seeing anything.
It's a nat 20.
So it was a 13 and a 24.
So
They're lying.
yeah, okay. You can see it's all
Bullshit.
time stamped. Anyways,
Kill the turtle.
and then you eventually find the soft spot and you dig inside and you claw at him. So that's a total of. Thanks for sending me a photo of a vampire, Billy.
I didn't mean to.
You actually got really lucky because he rolled 2d4 plus 2, and he rolled 2 1s plus 2, which is 4. So double that. It's 8.
Yeah.
So you take 8 damage, Thanthui.
All right.
Okay. So
That's all I got. That's.
yeah, next.
So I'm mindless, so that's the
Yeah,
end of my turn.
You're just being gnawed at by a wolf. So
Unless I can like try and like break free like mentally.
yeah. Bonnie, it's your turn.
All right. Here we go. Bonnie's gonna attack the bitch with natural 20.
Nice.
So it's 8, 16, and then does that mean her damage, her weapon, her radiant damage gets doubled too, right? Or no?
Yes.
Okay, it's max anyway. So that's
Oh wow.
8, 16 plus 12 is 28 damage
Okay. So that's the total.
for that attack. Yeah. So
Bonnie.
she does it.
How do you kill this vampire? Well, you still look like her, another vampire, by the way.
So then she just kind of just takes her blade, just stabs it right through her jaw up to her brain,
Yeah, and she's like,
and then brings it down her body, like to slice her in half as
yeah,
well.
she gets sliced in half and her body just keels over.
Okay, so then, perfect. Then Bonnie will run over to this one, and as a bonus action, attack him.
Is this hill giant alive still, or is she dead?
I don't know.
You
Nobody's
didn't
checked her.
want to investigate that. You cared about mirrors.
I think she's died.
13 mirrors.
13 minutes in the garage.
Mirrors in the garage.
13 tigers looking in mirrors in the garage. Okay. Bonnie, you killed that first vampire. You came over here. You're not getting advantage.
So then, fine. I rolled a 24
Yeah.
to attack this one. 5 damage, and then 5 radiant damage.
So 10 total.
But remember, 5 of it is radiant.
I'm aware. It doesn't
Okay.
do extra damage.
Don't you
just
forget
sucks
it.
them.
Don't forget it.
It should. I'm just telling you.
It's radiant though, Adam.
It's radiant damage, just so you know.
Okay. So, is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn, yes.
Okay. Nosfer is going to use his legendary action. And he's going to strike Bonnie with the sword she just ran up to.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Ooh.
Wow.
Natural 1. Whoa, what the fuck? When you make a big bad evil guy and he ends up sucking at every fucking roll, breaks his nails.
That's a miss. I should be able to destroy it.
It's a nat 1. So Bonnie, you would after you strike at this guy, you should get a little bit closer, by the way, if you were attacking him.
Well, I couldn't. I tried to go where Thanthui's thing is, but it just hid me.
Suddenly-
so I went there.
Okay,
I
but-
technically should be where Thanthui's
Okay, so
thing
anyway-
is.
Okay, so anyways, you get you strike at him, and then Bonnie, you hear something behind you. It's that blade, and it's just bleeding, and then it's coming down to strike at you. What do you do?
I actually move quickly out of the way so it hits his vampire friend instead.
Okay. So the blade of blood attempts to fly into you, Bonnie. You twirl, you miss it, and it's going to hit him instead. It's going to... Okay. And he is struck by the blade, and now I just need to have him do a con save. I'm fighting myself! This is fucking stupid.
Now you know how I feel.
So he's got to do a con save.
Come on, you know you can't kill us.
Wow.
Now he's going to.
I really... I didn't expect to roll nat 1s on every fucking
David,
attack.
get ready to roll a new character.
So he survives that constitution check. There's no bloodletting ability. Okay, this blade then stabs into the vampire, and he just looks like, what the fuck? Anyways, that's the end of your turn, Bonnie. That's the end of my legendary action.
That is the end of my turn.
Now that vampire spawn is going to look around and then angrily, I guess, attack Bonnie. I mean, this is last-ditch effort here. He attacks you once with his claw.
That is a hit.
You take 6 slashing damage.
Oh, he rolled a 23, by the way. That is a hit.
Rolled a 23. 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
Okay, roll a dex save. DC 13.
A natural 1.
Natural 1. Okay. So I'm going to let him get an extra attack in on you. And you're grappled. So
That's a hit.
another 8 damage. And he's going to bite you. Well, did you go down with the 8?
Nope, not yet, but close.
Okay, 16 to AC.
Oh, that is a miss. Oh.
Okay. So, but you're still grappled in his grasp. So this vampire grabs Bonnie, slashes at her, and then attempts to bite at her, and is now holding Bonnie on his person. Blood just flowing all over his body from his wounds. He's just so angry.
I must point out Bonnie looks pretty beaten.
Yeah.
Fine.
In your vampire form.
Very beaten. In my
Okay.
vampire form, yes.
Tyrannus, it's your turn.
Okay, Tyrannus is going to move kind of up there. So now he sees a line right here. And
Sure.
Tyrannus is going to unleash his inner dragon for the first time, and I hope this works.
You want to describe what you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm going to, yeah. Currently, he's invisible, so out of literally nowhere, you would see just a long streak of lightning emerge from midair and go through the vampire spawn, go through Ben in werewolf form, and eventually hit Nosfer, this chain of lightning. And as soon as I would kind of exhale this energy, I would become visible, and you would see that I'm just like in this stance and like unleashing lightning out of my mouth. So everyone has to make a DC, what is it, 12 dex save.
You said everyone, so I think people are now rolling.
Everyone in that line. So the vampire spawn, Ben, and Nosfer.
I think all of us failed, but okay, so Nosfer's was a 10.
That's a fail.
But I'm going to use
6.
my 1 legendary resistance and pass instead.
Okay, you'll take half damage.
Okay, and then the
rolled
vampire
6.
spawn rolled 7 and Ben rolled 6, yeah.
But you guys can't see that.
So that's a 11 damage for Ben and the vampire spawn, and then I guess 5 for Nosfer. 5 or 6, however you want to do that.
Okay, I'll do 6. That's fine. He's been healing anyway. Okay.
And
All right.
that's the end of Tyrannus' turn.
Okay. So the vampire spawn took how much again, did you say?
11.
11.
He's still up and he's still holding. Oh, but he was holding Bonnie. I think Bonnie should be taking the dex save as well.
Uh-oh.
Do a dex save, Bonnie.
Oh, no.
Technically, also, where Ben was over a nat 1, Bonnie. Okay, so you definitely took the damage, Bonnie.
11.
Bonnie is sleeping. He just suddenly fell asleep.
Yeah, Bonnie goes down. Tyrannus is killing Bonnie. You guys would
Nice.
see. Well, you guys wouldn't know he's invisible, but I'm guessing you're
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Broken. But yeah, Bonnie is now lifeless in the vampire's hands, and the vampire
All
is
sorts of betrayals today.
still clinging to life. Bonnie, because you rolled a nat 1, I want you to roll one of your death saves right away too.
Sorry.
But that only brought me into 1 less deafness. Ugh, fine.
You're fine.
That's a failure.
That's an
One
8.
strike. Okay, so Bonnie goes down. And I think that's where we're going to end this episode. Because this
Bonnie's
is
gonna
very
die.
long so far, and I hate it when I have like 3-hour episodes. So this will be 2.5. I'll get down to like 150. Okay, wow, that was a lot.
Let's be real here. It's not actually 2.5 because the first half an hour we were just recording and not actually doing anything.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fine. So I just want to make sure we cut it now, though, because you guys still have a little bit of a battle ahead of you. So let's cut it there. So in suspense, right, as Bonnie falls lifeless in the vampire's hands. And I want to thank everybody for listening. Don't forget to follow us on all social media at Stubborn Heroes. Go to stubbornheroes.com. And if you're on iTunes and you're listening to us, why don't you give us a 5-star review? We'd really appreciate it. I haven't said that in a long time. And yeah, until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye.